It is 7:02. Let's declare this meeting of the Nairn Hyman Town Council open on November 13th, 2023. So no declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof. We have a delegation of Mr. Joseph Burke, the clerk of the town of Espanola, and he will be discussing with us any questions about the La Planche Regional Transportation System for seniors.
Good to see you all again, and thanks for having us. Not a whole lot to say, other than I'm here to answer your questions, and just to summarize again, we're seeking the one-time capital investment of $2,828 for your share of the vehicle, and your estimated annual operating in year one would be $4,495.47. Of course, at this point, if we purchase the vehicle, we're probably not going to get it until June or July. So your 2024 budget operating wise would be prorated once we actually start incurring some of these expenses that are summarized for you. Happy to take your question.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Now, this man goes Hyman and everything.
Yeah, well, what we will work out depending on the need is whether the bus will have to pick up passengers at a central location, so just off the highway, let's say, for example, there, or like that where the San Bay turnoff is, or if there is only one person to pick up, then they can make it work and they'll pick them up at their house. It depends on who we get and what we get.
But Mr. Burke, he's actually talking about San Bay, that is 20 minutes off the highway. I think
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood that that would work is pretty low.
Minimal.
I'm just imagining a situation where maybe there is a dialysis patient who lives down there, has absolutely no way of getting to the highway. And they're the only one, and they're one of 2 or 3 in the region. Well, maybe we'd be able to make it work for them, but I don't suspect that will be the case necessarily. But we're open to exploring whatever makes sense, whatever. That's what I do want to be clear. It's going to depend on who we have and how many.
Madam Chair, am I to understand this is mostly for dialysis patients?
No, it's just that the schedule to Sudbury is based on the dialysis appointment time. So that appointment time is either 7 till 12 or 1 p.m. usually, or noon to 6, or so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm familiar by that.
Fair enough. Yeah. So with the few that will be going to Sudbury from the region for their dialysis appointment, all of the other seats will be open for those who are not. And right now we're aware of 4 from the overall region that are going 3 times a week, and that may utilize the service. So we'll likely expect that. Of course, circumstances change all the time, eh? So if it was 4 a month ago, it might not be 4 a few months from now, it just depends. But then there'd be 4 other seats, right, that someone could fill to go to an appointment that they only have once a month or something. They just schedule it between the time that the bus is going to be there.
And I think it's fair to assume that you will do your best to accommodate everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course.
We're starting here. This is a starting point with this, and we were at Baldwin earlier this evening seeking our approval. We did get it, and we have massive approval now as well, or Sable Spanish River, I should say. And you know, the conversation at Baldwin did reflect that, you know, there may end up being more of a need than we ever imagined, right? And then so if the bus is full, then where do we go from there? I think those are all fair questions, but that'll be a good problem to have, and we'll take it from there and figure out where to go. But for now, I think we'll be able to capture most people in that time frame. You know, it may just take some maneuvering on their part too, to get their appointment scheduled at a particular time.
Thank you.
Well, I love this project. I think it's a great service to offer our residents, and I think many people in our area probably have never dreamt that we could coordinate something, and I think we can only do it because it's happened through La Cloche, right? With all of our municipalities working together. So thank you so much for your time. Mayor Gervais, did you want to add anything?
Well, are you just gonna be doing, your
Do you
sign
want to
tonight?
do the resolution now or wait till the report? Is everyone fine with doing the resolution now?
Sure.
And then sure. We'll just,
We'll just move everything around for you.
yeah,
too.
just for you. We don't get a lot of visitors, so. We want to make you feel special.
Remember when we go to Spinola. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, just remember us when we go there.
that's right.
And move everything.
We'll be at your meeting.
Consider it done.
Okay, so moved by Counselor Austin, seconded by Counselor McDonald, whereas council has received report 2023-34 for information, and be it resolved that council approve the capital expenditure of $2,828 for the purchase of a specialized transit vehicle in partnership with the town of Espanola to provide transportation for seniors in the La Cloche Foothills region, and that the annual operating cost of approximately $4,495.47 be budgeted for accordingly. And further, that the mayor and the clerk are hereby authorized to execute an agreement between the corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman and the corporation of the town of Espanola for the purchase and operation of a specialized transit vehicle, and that the corresponding bylaw of number 2023-36 be given 3 readings at the November 13th, 2023 council meeting. All in favor? That's carried. Congratulations.
Now, guys, now I have to say something. It's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
I would just like to thank you very much for your event. And I think it's an endeavor that we're starting. It's great to see the Wash Videos doing this kind of projects. And I'm really looking forward to working with all these. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to our meetings twice in a row, and
See you next one.
Our pleasure.
yeah. So we have another delegation as well, Mr. Ivan Shomont, about the Agnew Lake subdivision agreement.
Hey, first of all, I want just to thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. As you recall, last month I was here. And the request for last month was that we wanted to have the opportunity to have a special meeting prior to this meeting. And unfortunately, I was pretty aggressive in my timeline. As you know, there are 2 lawyers plus myself, and we had some language that we had to look at in the subdivision plan. And so it took us a little longer than what we thought it was gonna take. We did get it, okay, and it was very close to this timeline. So in my discussion with Belinda, we thought, well, didn't really make sense to have an earlier meeting, a special meeting, a week or so prior to this meeting. So we adopted to just slide it out and then wait for this meeting. But I wanted to take this opportunity to thank our mayor, okay, and councilors for that opportunity to be able to have that special meeting if we would have had it. And I want to apologize because, you know, we sort of pushed it a bit. Maybe we should have waited a bit more. But anyways, we'll be talking more about the plan itself. I'm not sure how it's going to go in here, and
If we just do things in order, we'll be at the Agnew Lake in a minute.
Yeah, in a minute.
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
we'll
so I just wanted to have this conversation, okay, just because of the fact that we did meet or require the special meeting. And I just wanted to say thank you for that consideration for that.
you're welcome. I think I speak for everyone saying it's a pretty big deal to have a new subdivision in town. So of course we would have a special meeting. So but we'll get to the rest of that in a minute. There's nothing for our public meeting. Any discussions arising from previous council minutes? And so we are going to approve regular council minutes, moved by Councillor Austin, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Be it resolved that the following council minutes be accepted as presented. Regular council meeting minutes, October 16, 2023, and closed session council minutes, October 16, 2023. All in favor? That's carried. Oh. Just note that they're accepted. Okay, so moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Austin. Be it resolved that the minutes and reports of items 7A to G are noted as received. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, so now we are at the Agnew Lake Property Group subdivision. Does anyone have any concerns, or we're all fine to go ahead? All right, Councillor Austin first and Councillor McDonald seconds, whereas council has received the CAO's report of number 2023-32 for information, and therefore be it resolved that council approves the subdivision agreement with the Agnew Lake Property Group, and further that council, the mayor, and the clerk be authorized to execute any documents and agreements required by the approval of this agreement, and that the agreement be enacted through bylaw number 2023-33 and be given 3 readings at the November 13th, 2023 meeting. All in favor? That's carried.
Very good.
Thunderous applause.
Yes.
Can I say something now?
Yeah.
Again.
Okay, so and this has been a long journey, so as you all know.
How many years has it been?
Many, many a times, and for me, it's been a challenge. It's been, there's been some ups and downs, as you all know. Not everybody's gonna be 100% all the time. And we had to go through those hurdles, and we did. We managed to get through it. And, there's certainly a lot of people that were involved in getting us through here. I want to acknowledge some of the people that I had to write them down, because there's quite a few of them, but I certainly, Honorable Mayor, Amy, you see her.
I think previous mayors.
And previous mayors, yes, as well, and councilors, deputy mayor, councilor, Rob McDonald, Wayne Austin, Peter Bocci. So Belinda, especially Belinda, she's been through it basically, I think, pretty well the whole run.
Just about.
Yeah, so then certainly the council for the Nairn Center, Natalie Schreier, has been very instrumental. We had initially started with Murray Scott, as you know. Murray was a dear friend of mine, passed away during the course of this, and then Leighton took over Murray's files. Also, the Agnew Lake Property Board of Directors, I think we had 2 presidents prior to me. I was treasurer for most of the time until I became president, but we've had some really good people that spent a lot of good time trying to get resolutions and moving us forward as well. Obviously, our members of Agnew Lake, like I mentioned a while ago, there's 33% of the people in Nairn Center are people that can vote and have voted in the last election, as we all know. And so they were instrumental in supporting us and backing us up in certain cases where we needed some support. I also had Mr. Glenn Tannock, who was the previous planner for the Nairn Township, and worked very hard with us throughout this ordeal, and still keeps calling me and asking me when is it gone through yet, or you got it, or whatever. So, right, you'll be happy for me to give him that And then Dave Norland surveying, so all these people, putting all these people together made it happen. It wasn't just me, it was a whole whack of people that had input and had dedication and cared. They really cared about the community, and I'm telling you right now, this is gonna make a big change in the community, because obviously people now, after tonight, will be able to get deeds and will be able to go to banks and borrow to upgrade. A lot of people are retiring, a lot of people want to stay, they don't want to live in town anymore, it's really politically, they want to live where it's a little bit quieter. So you're gonna see a lot of improvements in the area as far as cottages, upgrades, new ones maybe or whatever, so it's gonna be, there's gonna be some drastic changes. And I don't wanna forget Marissa, is it Marissa? Marissa, our
Melanie
administrator,
and Melanie,
Melanie. I keep making a mistake.
that's okay.
Anyways,
Most people put us
so
together. and
we've
we-
grown a relationship a bit because now she knows me by voice. She says, "Oh, okay, I know who it is, you don't have to tell me, but a very sweet lady and really appreciate the help that she's given us as well. And for you, Belinda, it's well into it, it's really been a very exciting time. And so today it's something that I've actually dictated on my phone a message to all of the people here, so when I get back in my vehicle, I can just push it out and it's gone. But I wanted to make sure that the resolution that it was passed tonight. Because that's really an early Christmas gift for all those people. You know, and that's the only reason I did it. I did it for them and for them to be able to live a better life and enjoy their life. And I want to thank you guys again, and certainly the ladies. It's been a good experience. As old as I am, I still learned a lot of things, especially about municipal affairs. But it was a good experience. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's a big deal. There should be.
Can
fireworks or
can I
something.
just one request, can I get a letter from the township about passing of this motion? Just,
For sure,
it's a safety for
absolutely.
myself and others. Okay? So is there any questions or anything else for me, like do you still need me to be here or?
No, I think we're good.
No,
That's-
yeah, we'll accept the agreement through the bylaw, if council's in agreement, and
Okay, so.
You'll
I
be
can
off to the
pull
races.
Trigger when I get in my vehicle with my phone.
Sure can.
You don't believe it's true.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I think,
Nervous.
well, some of them, they might, I know some of them will be a little bit shocked, but it's gonna be.
So the only other thing, it comes up
Very good.
again in the bylaw,
Yeah,
but
but we have a resolution.
yeah. All right, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank
The
you
big
very
deal.
much, and we'll be back. Again, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks for your work.
See you later.
Okay, so the next thing we have is the proposed municipal holiday hours. So one thing, does anyone have any comments about it? Any
Well,
concerns?
I got a
Councilor?
question. Are the employees, I guess there's just two. Are they all the time owing of the holidays going to be used up there? They're not gonna just take a day and save it for later on when the holidays?
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but, we do carry over some,
Well, I know you wouldn't use them
Sometime.
all, but
we don't use it all. It's impossible.
I guess my question is, they're not gonna say on Wednesday, I'm just taking the day off, I'm gonna save that paid holiday for later next year or whatever.
Oh, I don't think that's the intention, no.
No, but I
No.
would expect that they would use them all during that time. that
They would
have-
be using them, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions or concerns?
No, I don't think the taxpayers will mind. I don't, that time of year,
Yeah, it's not busy. most of us are in and out of town. I wanted actually to suggest. But that possibly, instead of using vacation days for the 3 days, that, we just close the office and that enables. The employees to use their vacation days another time, but what happens? If they have unused, vacation days, do we end up paying those out? or-
No. No, we have a policy that we don't pay them out, that it would just be carried over. So that way, somebody wouldn't be saving it up and, hey, the last week of the year, you owe me $2,000, like,
Mhm.
we generally don't pay out vacation. In that way.
So Councilor McDonald?
Yeah. Say I come in the office and I want to see all your overtime, is that possible to look at that?
Employee records are protected. I oversee them and I sign off on all of them. If you think there's an issue, we can certainly talk about it.
I don't think there's an issue, but I said I represent the taxpayer of all Nairn. And I would like to, I used to come in there with the other clerk and he'll show me his overtime and why, when he took them off and why he was overtime.
Yeah, I certainly don't mind showing you mine, because I am your employee, I'm council's employee. But my employees' records are protected, so. If there's an issue that you want me to write a report about, a particular project that you think. We're spending too much overtime on, I can certainly write you a report about that, but I won't release. Our personnel records. If you wanna see mine, I got nothing to hide.
No, I'm not sorry.
We see the car.
I'm not saying that you do anything wrong, but
No,
as a counselor, we're responsible for what you do and your time owing and everything.
I think the Privacy Act says she can't, and we can't see it either, unless you wanna deal with the Privacy Act. I don't think we can, I know at my office, we can't do that,
No,
no way. Our manager cannot release any of them. No way, no, not unless you wanna get yourself in a legal battle.
Okay, but back to holiday hours, and I guess my suggestion, did you have
Yeah,
another?
my only concern was if we're closing the office, that we're using up vacation days.
yes.
If we're not using them, then the office should be open.
I agree.
Okay.
oh, I see, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I just had a suggestion, Councillor Despatie.
No, I've got no comment or issue with the week off.
Okay, so the three of you will leave it. Now, this doesn't dictate specifically. About using vacation time or not,
I can add that in. if
Sure.
You want?
well, just because we've discussed
Okay.
it. Oh, we've already done the next.
Madam Chair,
Mhm.
does this include Derek Wilson, he worked, I mean, I shouldn't say, superintendent,
We'll just office staff.
just office staff?
Well, I think the reality is that, roads, the dump needs to stay open, so the dump will be open, and also roads need to be plowed.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he could be home and then when it snows, come to work, so that's all I would. If he was gonna be, if that's his regular day to work, he should be working.
Unless he takes holidays,
Yeah. let's take
he's got
off.
holidays due to him, we can't stop him.
Well, he can't
Yes,
take holidays,
I
he's,
think there's a great system that take holidays, winter months.
he
Oh,
could
yeah.
plow.
Oh, is that right?
I
Or
think
used
this
to
needs to be
be that
discussed in
anyway.
closed
Yeah.
Oh,
session.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, we
It's
can't.
too many
discuss that.
details.
Okay, sorry.
Let's go on to a simple question. Derek's the only one.
Oh,
No.
hang on, yeah, we're not
Okay,
leaving
I've been
employees.
so used to people that say those things,
Yeah, so if
but
we,
the superintendent now, the part-time, is any of them can plow if necessary?
should this just come up in closed session?
How about we discuss this in closed
Oh,
session?
Yeah, just because I think it's, So then maybe we need to change our description of closed session.
Well, we have.
Other employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that covers it.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time. with this.
Having a hard time.
And she's trying to think and write.
Okay, first by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin, whereas council has received the CAO's report number 2023-33 for information, and therefore be it resolved that council approves that the municipal office will be closed throughout the holiday season from Monday, December 25th, 2023 to and including Monday, January 1st, 2024, and further that employees will use vacation time for the days of December 27th to 29th. 2023, all in favor?
No question.
Okay, a question?
Yes.
After it's already been done.
Something come up just while I'm thinking here, mention the water bills. Now, the water bills were gonna be sent out early because of this.
Yeah.
Okay, my
We're gonna-
concern is that we give the people till January 2nd or whatever to pay their bills, which would normally be
I thought it was December 22nd it was due. So it's the Friday before.
December 20th or whatever.
So normally, sorry,
Go ahead.
sure, through you, Madam Chair. Normally, we put them out the first day of December,
Yeah.
and they're due December 29th
Yeah.
or whatever our last day working is. So we decided to put them out, November 20th.
Yeah.
Have them due December 22nd, so they actually get an extra week more than normal to pay them.
I know, but my concern is we're pushing them ahead. And somebody's gonna complain, well, I never had to pay it till the end of the year. Now you're asking me to pay it a week early, and you're gonna penalize me because I don't.
Oh, I see what you mean now.
Could we extend
Into January?
the penalty date to January 2nd? If it's not paid,
I think it has to be paid, like, I think the
Within
due
the
date
year.
has to be within the quarter. So I don't think we can push it through
Okay,
to January.
so
That it's an accounting thing, and if our due date is in the new year, our auditors don't like that.
I know somebody questioning because the office is closed and we can't pay it at the last day of the year.
I can't imagine most residents being interested, or even some residents being interested in paying water bills. You know, the week between Christmas and
It's
New
never
Year's,
most, it's always a
so,
last minute ones.
Yeah, but
Okay, that's, I just
Okay.
wanted to,
Counselor McDonald,
I wasn't cutting you off.
don't, go
I
ahead.
just put my hand to let her know, now I know you lost, Mark. Okay, let me give me, just give me a second here. January, now let me think now. I lost my thought there. It's just,
should we go to CAO Ketchiba and then we'll go back to you?
yeah, I got no problem with.
Just to give some history on this, the old administration did this all the time.
Yeah.
We haven't done it just because we were newer staff and we didn't have enough vacation time to take this much time off during this season. So now that, you know, we both are able to, we went back and looked and the old administration did it all the time. So just to give you some history.
Hey, come back. I'm a senior, and all my pension checks come in at the last day of the month. So, you know, not sure I can afford to pay it early. I'm not saying that, but there's some maybe can't pay it early. Our checks come in that usually 28 at the end of the month. Seniors, like my old age pension, the Canada pension, the Eagle pension. I don't have to, but I'm just thinking of the ones that don't have the benefits I have.
So you think it's necessary to, let's say, open the office for a day at the end of the month?
No, it's just that if they don't pay it, like she said,
They don't get penalized.
they don't get penalized.
So we relieve the penalty, but then if they come in and pay it in January, does that mess up the accounting?
That is a question for deputy treasurer. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. If it's an automatic thing in our accounting system, if we can delay it. That's something I'd have to get back to you about. I don't know the answer right now.
So. We wait till December's meeting to. Well, or this is about vacation time and you're not talking about vacation time.
Yeah.
You're talking about waiving
Well, this
penalties.
is on the motion here, or the. Let me see, there you go. This water bill thing is on here.
Yeah, but this motion isn't about the
That
water
motion
bill.
is for the holidays, so not the water.
Yeah,
Well, it's-
you're right, it's somewhat interconnected, but if we're not talking about changing. If we're talking about going ahead with this holiday hours, and we're really just talking about whether we can waive the penalty, then we can do this. And see at the next meeting about the penalty.
Okay, go ahead, yeah,
Yeah, I can find that out for you for the next.
due to the holidays.
Should we do a motion about that too? Or
can.
do we need to?
Just let Belinda.
Okay,
I can look into it.
okay, I'm gonna read it again. Moved by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin, whereas council has received the CAO's report number 2023-33 for information. Therefore, be it resolved that council approves that the municipal office will be closed throughout the holiday season from Monday, December 25th, 2023 to and including Monday, the January 1st, 2024, and further that employees will use vacation time for the days of December 27th to 29th of 2023. All in favor? It's carried. And so for our next meeting, you'll report back.
I'll
to us
report back, yeah.
About if we can remove the penalty. So we've already done the La Planche Regional Transportation System, then we have the assumption of the Anglican Cemetery. I assume there isn't much you want to discuss about it, because we already have.
There is some. I don't want to discuss it. Do we have to fence our cemeteries?
This is just about us taking
I
over.
know we're taking over a cemetery that isn't fenced.
Yeah, that's a, I don't know the answer. I'd have to
You
look
know,
that
I
up.
tried to find it and I couldn't look it up to get the right thing.
I don't believe it's mandated, but I could check.
As if they're offering us, to me, they should be fencing it before they give it to us.
It was already understood that we owned it,
we
it was
already-
just never finally passed over.
It's passed, so we don't-
It was passed, we just didn't pay for it, I thought.
Yeah, there was,
Our clerk and council passed it and they did it, we just never paid.
It was just legal fees we paid.
Yeah.
So it wasn't,
I remember discussing it. I don't think that we went through with it. We just left it, I think, the way it was.
we've done the first,
there was a resolution through you, Madam Chair.
yeah,
There was a resolution in March of 2023 directing me to complete the transfer of the cemetery. So,
Well, we'll go ahead.
yeah.
If we have to assume the bill for the fencing, then we'll.
There's a ton of them over on the island that are fenced, like I don't know where that is, like I. Third one doesn't have fence on it, it's got cedar trees.
Moved by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin, whereas council has received the CAO's report of number 2023-35 for information, and therefore be it resolved that council will enact the corresponding bylaw number 2023-37 to accept the transfer of the Anglican Cemetery property, and further that bylaw number 2023-37 be given 3 readings at the November 13th, 2023 council meeting. All in favor? That's carried. Next, we have the Rink Shack agreement, rental agreement. Does anyone have any comments or concerns about that?
I don't believe we should be charging for the
Well, we have just recently had a big group of several teams come from out of town that would have liked to have rented the Rink Shack. So that's a big group of people and none of them were from our town. So I think in that case, you know, we want, if we're handing the key to someone to use it, we wanna Someone has to go in and clean it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking, is you gotta offset the cost of cleaning it, if you're not a taxpayer.
Yeah,
And you're coming in to use it, and you leave it a mess, and they're not gonna leave it a mess, you leave it, and we have to clean it.
I'm just saying within the rent,
oh, you don't
for
wanna,
public use.
well, I guess I was imagining it could be really fun to rent it, just like you can rent a roller rink or something for a birthday party, right? So we don't want it to conflict with our regular skating time. I mean, really, in our regular skating time, someone could come in with a birthday cake and just have a skating party, and like, that would be fine, like, we wouldn't even probably notice. But if they want exclusive use of the rink shack at a separate time when the public isn't using it, I can't imagine a problem paying something for it. So I think it was $75 if you were a resident and $150. I think 125. 125.
Pardon me, ma'am. For the size of that building, is there a certain number of people that be allowed in there one time, or is that
Oh, I don't know what the,
15.
15?
Yeah.
So that would have to be in their agreement,
It is,
no,
it is.
I didn't read it, I missed that.
yeah, I didn't see that either.
13B. If you're interested.
Any other comments about it? Nothing. Moved by Counselor Austin, second by Counselor McDonald, whereas council has received the CAO's report 2023-36 Pendle draft rink shack rental agreement and bylaw, and resolved that council agrees to adopt the proposed fee structure and rental agreement through bylaw at the next council meeting. All in favor? That's carried. Then we have the location of the secondary flagpole. This should be an exciting discussion. Who would like to lead out? I don't like any of the ideas. I don't even know that I want a big one. No, I'm sorry. I know we already have one. It's gotta go somewhere.
Just wants to move it, don't we?
Yeah,
What?
no, they're just gonna put a second one.
Second one.
Second
It's
one.
the second one. We leave the first one where it is,
Yeah,
right?
okay. So what the flag for the second one, so that,
Counselor Austin, do you want to start us off? This is,
Well, there was one location that was discussed previously with other people, was where the old tower used to be beside the community center, which is next to the fire hall. On that end of the building.
that's your first choice?
Yep, that's,
Everybody else like that?
Okay with it.
No objection.
Can I just speak to that for a second?
Absolutely, CAO Ketchiba.
Through you, Madam Chair. The non-commercial poles do not come with mounting brackets. So we have no way to install it to that pad. So we were going to make a new footing for it and cement it in the ground. Just so you're aware, so it could go right in front of where that pad is.
I could probably get someone to make one up very cheap. A
Well,
well-made one,
that's interesting
I
news.
was thinking that too.
very in, I should mention names.
Yeah, no names.
A resident in town would
I'm,
probably do
Oh,
that,
okay,
Yeah, it's not you for
Yeah.
once.
sure.
Probably
Okay.
make it up for a very minimal fee.
Okay.
Tell him what he wants and.
Maybe we could just wait till it comes in and just see if
Yeah.
it's appropriate, that it's even
Yeah, if it
Workable,
can be,
workable.
or if we have to put it in the ground.
Yeah,
And the only other thing. If you're gonna mount something in the ground, we gotta get the gas outfit or whatever to come and check the property.
yeah, we would definitely do.
It's gonna be 3 feet
Yeah.
in the ground. We have a water line and the gas line going into the community center. If it goes there, you wanna put it out front,
I would like it by the other flagpole, but we can't.
you have to go on the other side of the trees.
It's freezing, unfortunately.
Can we cut trees?
You wanna cut them?
The big maple?
No, you can't cut those volunteers put them there.
Well, I don't wanna cut them down, I wanna just trim them. Just wanna let a flagpole grow up in the middle. Actually, okay.
The cable company come and trimmed one of mine too, it was that car off the ground.
So generally, we like the position so it would basically be on the west end of the building. Counselor McDonald, do you have a comment?
No, I just rubbed my head.
Okay,
Thank
so it'd be the west end in front of the community hall.
Well, either at the same distance from the road as the other one if you want, on the opposite side of the trees,
I thought your number one pick was,
well, I give you two, you didn't ask me just for one.
any opinion over here, Counselor?
Nope, I don't care. I mean that in a nice way, I don't.
Yes.
I don't care.
Okay, where would you like it,
Just-
Counselor Austin?
Let's put it on the other side of the trees. Even
In the
up
front?
there, Yeah,
Okay,
where it's the sidewalk,
okay.
So
then
location
we
one,
don't need other mounting things.
Well, why don't we confirm with Counselor Austin that is it location one?
location one in front, the same in line with the other one.
I forget looking at it now, but
Yeah, so it's away from the building.
the same distance from the sidewalk.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah, that would be.
that would be your number
the other
one,
one.
like over, yeah, the other one's over here and then
That's right.
it's right there.
Yeah, that location one's good. I'm not,
Okay, moved by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin, whereas councils received the CAO's report number 2023-37 titled Location of Secondary Flagpole, and be it resolved that council directs that the flagpole be installed at location one. All in favor? It's carried. And next we have the McDonald Street Rehabilitation Project. This is complicated.
I figure.
So I don't like McDonald Street this much. So our quote is 1.8 million.
And we only get 600,000.
We have 600,000 that we've accumulated over years, right? Working towards this project. I have suggested with CAO Peshpa that we look for a very basic design. And also a basic design with some blasting and see if we can bring the price down. A little bit. Does anyone have any other ideas?
Well, you can go a section at a time. The worst spot is down to the, by the Highway 17 in. Those people that live there, but I can't believe the amount of cars that go up down that road. And boat trailers with boats, motors, they must bounce like hell there. You know, I can't understand it. I see it in summertime, they're all day long, there are boats going through, I guess they're going down the river here, the strangers would suffer. But I mean, the travel that road, I couldn't imagine. But anyway, we can do a section at a time, maybe do the blasting, maybe and do that section a little bit or something, or. Because we can't afford the 1 million,
1.8
no, we
million.
can't afford that.
That's almost 2 million.
We're moving by the time it's all done.
Yeah, will be. Unless they quoted it high.
according to this engineer's report, we need blasting. How much blasting do we need? I don't understand. I drove up there and looked at the street, and the only place I see where any rock has to come out is right at the top driveway.
Counselor McDonald?
We discussed that a few years back, and they said that just to blast it, to crack the rock so the water would seep away.
Well, I worked in the mining industry, and backhoe with a hole ram on it will take out a lot of rock along that short section of ditch.
I like the way you're thinking, because that could save us $1 million right there. It's probably wrong, but we,
can't see why we couldn't get someone to look at it and see if they can get to do that ditching part.
Counselor Day, any thoughts?
Well, we obviously can't afford it, so either, we defer it for another year, or as Councillor McDonald suggested, we do some of it this year. I don't know.
Counselor McVeigh? Something has to
Nothing
be.
about roads other than what I've read here. It's extremely expensive, and I imagine there's probably a reason why it is expensive. There's probably so many rules and regulations that tie up contractors' hands and people's hands and our hands, that's why it is what it is. But I agree with Councilor McDonald, we can just do a piece of it. Because I don't drive that road for a reason. Not even buy my truck, I don't want to drive that.
So,
I don't even drive that way, I usually go around.
Counselor CAO, you were originally thinking that we should seek another estimate. That was your original thoughts?
Through you, Madam Mayor, they're just wrapping up this design. And before they finish off this design, I thought, why don't we get them to just look at a very basic. Get rid of the hard surface that's there. There's one little spot of rock that Derek says he can't plow the road properly because of, just blast that part. If there's a couple culverts that need to be replaced, look at those and then fix the road and resurface it. I'm hoping it would come in closer to $1 million or lower.
Oh, a real bargain. Counselor Day,
That's a fine suggestion.
so the cost of this, I don't know if it could be 1,000 to 1,500
For the extras.
yeah, for the other estimate.
Sorry, just to go back, the problem with phasing it is the mobilization and demobilization are so expensive. You're wasting like hundreds of thousands of dollars just in bringing in the equipment and taking them out. So if you can come up with a plan to do it all at once, you do have some savings there.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's,
If we come up with a plan to do all the ditching in 1 year. And not the road itself, do the ditching, see what our costs are.
The ditching for McDonald Street?
Yeah.
We looked at it, it's other than, the main ditch that goes towards, the railroad tracks. There doesn't seem to be issues with water
No.
any other place. So if you want that included in the quote too, we can ask them
Well, I thought,
to include that in.
I said, looking at it, the only thing I seen is, well, I'll call the top of the hill. After you go through the swamp is where the rock and the ditching problem is, and it's only for 100 or 200 feet at the most. And the rock,
Well, we can let the engineer
Yeah.
give his opinion. I just
if
wanted
he
to,
could itemize them separately
Yeah.
so that we could,
yeah,
maybe we can afford 2/3 of it or.
yeah, maybe just certain areas that are priorities.
Okay, moved by Counselor Austin, second by Counselor McDonald, whereas councilors received the CEO's report 2023-38 titled McDonald Street Rehabilitation Project Engineering and Design Phase. And be it resolved that council directs that the engineering firm provide an alternative scope of work cost estimate for the McDonald rehabilitation, with the estimated cost being $1,500. All in favor? That's carried. And then we have correspondences, moved by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin. Be it resolved that the correspondence items A to B are noted as received. All in favor? That's carried. So does anyone have any comments about the CT scanner? They're asking for a letter of recommendation, letter of support, so that we could have a CT scanner at the Espinal Hospital.
I would think so.
They're not asking for money, they're just asking for support.
Yeah.
Well,
The money will come later.
Money ask is good.
Yeah, that'll come next.
I'm on that board and I can tell you, the hospital is extremely excited. They've had some preliminary discussions, and, the finances are pretty much, the only thing that will be holding it back. The approvals are gonna be granted and, yeah, it's gonna be great. Now we just have to go to Espo for a CT scan. It's gonna relieve the long wait times in Sudbury. Yeah, everybody, in the Lacloche area, very excited, very excited.
All right, moved by Counselor Austin, second by Counselor McDonald, be it resolved that council accepts the correspondence received from Jennifer LaGranger, and further that council directs staff to send a support letter indicating their endorsement of the CT scanner acquisition project for the Espanola Regional Hospital. All in favor? That's carried. And next, we have a letter that was sent to us, trying to make it illegal, or asking for our support to make it illegal for a vehicle to pass on two solid lines. So right now.
I thought it was, you know.
Well,
I
then
was
this is
shocked
for
when I
you.
saw that. You know,
No, the
by passing
recommendation-
a double line, the cops right there, they can't charge you.
Well, it's a guideline.
Oh,
It's a
gee,
guideline in Ontario.
I can't believe that.
I don't know why he's specific about a double solid line, because it should just be bad enough if there's one solid line, like if he's intending that you shouldn't pass. The one solid line on your side is telling you that you shouldn't be passing. Why would it be worse if both of you shouldn't be passing? I guess it makes it more dangerous.
It's a definite no.
Yeah. We're fine with this, Counselor Austin?
No,
It's a big leap to go to illegal.
no, it's, to me, what we're doing again is giving the police more work, that they're gonna be bothered with this. If you pass on a double line and cause any incident, you're gonna get charged anyway. You can be charged.
If you try,
This, I feel sorry, like, I don't wanna see anybody killed or anything else, but this really hasn't been an issue in Ontario. He's bringing up one issue and wants it forwarded so that everybody pays the price.
Well, I believe that's rightfully so, like, I was under the same impression.
Yeah,
I-
well, that's,
I have three good buddies and three close buddies that are police, and I text them all in a group chat and said, what? They said, yeah, it's, the worst we can do is charge you with disobeying a legal traffic sign. And, that's $100. And if you kill somebody, run somebody off the road, that's your ticket.
yeah.
But they
Well,
want to make it
no,
illegal.
you're
Now, when I
driving.
told him what we were, and he said, yeah, he said, if we had some clout, we had some clout. We got no clout right now. I don't think it's a simple letter for us.
It's not a bad act.
Our
Okay.
motion isn't gonna change anything, so.
Yeah, but if we're one of
that's a bad
700
attitude. Counselor.
municipalities.
Yeah.
Maybe they would.
That's what it is. You send out these letters to many communities and maybe you get 95% of them or 50% of them back. Okay.
I listened to the gentleman on the radio or the TV, and he didn't even seem to understand the law to start with when he was talking. You could be charged 100 or 200 or 400 or whatever, he didn't know.
All right, moved by Counselor Dave Petty, seconded by Trevor.
Sorry, I got lazy on the get-go.
Counselor McVeigh.
First one I just wrote, Trevor.
Be it resolved that council accepts the correspondence received from MPP Guy Bourget regarding his intention to prepare a bill that would make it illegal for a vehicle to pass on the left side of a lane when it is marked with two solid yellow lines, and further that council directs staff to send a support letter indicating their endorsement of this initiative. All in favor? It's carried.
They need to put one in the arrow on the passing lane,
Yeah,
or the turn lane, sorry. It's not a passing. lane.
So there's no motions, and now we're on to bylaws. And this is the official Agnew Lake, it's moved by Councilor McVeigh and seconded by Councilor Petit. Be it resolved that a bylaw to authorize the mayor and the clerk to execute a subdivision agreement with the Agnew Lake Property Group in relation to the property described as being of PIN 73384-0125 and PIN 73384-0126 and PIN 73384-0127, being part of the annulled portion of the geographic township of Hyman, be read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-33. All in favor? It's carried. And then we have our hall rental, moved by Councilor Petit, seconded by Councilor McVeigh. Be it resolved that it bylaw to adopt a hall rental policy for the Nairn Community Center be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-34. All in favor? That's carried. Moved by Councilor McVeigh, seconded by Councilor Petit. Be it resolved that being a bylaw to adopt a flag protocol policy for the corporation of the township of read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number should be 2023-35. All in favor? We're just cleaning up all the things that we've previously done. Moved by Councilor Petit, seconded by Councilor McVeigh. Be it resolved that a bylaw to execute an agreement between the township of Nairn and Hyman and the town of Espanola for the purchase and operation of a specialized transit vehicle be read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed in open council, and its number shall be 2023-36. All in favor? That's carried. Yeah, okay, I was like, she just said that was the cemetery because it looks funny. Moved by Councilor McVeigh, seconded by Councilor Petit. Be it resolved that a bylaw to provide for the purchase of 87 McIntyre Street, Nairn Center, Ontario, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in open council, and its number should be 2023-37. All in favor? It's carried. See, I just thought it was odd that we would be buying 87 McIntyre. And then we have for information only a fund. Moved by Councilor Petit, second by Councilor McVeigh. Be it resolved that council notes the for information only items 11A. All in favor? That's carried. Okay. Oh, so maybe we should just talk, if that's all we have to do about 11A, so maybe you should just talk about what that was for a second for anyone listening to the recording.
Okay, that is our Ontario Municipal Partnership Fund. It is a grant that we get every year, calculated on our amount of households. Last year, it was a little bit higher at $178,600. That was because there was an extra portion of the grant that was given to us last year. This year it's coming in at 169,200.
We'll take it. What do we have to spend it on? Anything? Or yes, everything. So next if I'm right, we have Councilor McVeigh discussing our volunteer firefighter recognition award. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, what I propose is, as somebody that has more than 5 years of service and they retire from the fire department as a volunteer, we recognize them, be it our Christmas party or whatever, something to that effect. Most of the departments in the area all do it, to give their, you know, if I look over there right now, there's a ton of people with 5 to 20 years. You two have been on the department as well. You see you see things, you do things. It's really not a volunteer position. I personally hate the term volunteer. It's more part-time because, you are paid to step in and it's a job. You don't, the bells go off, you gotta go, right? And, they see stuff, they bring stuff home. They do all these things. So we can recognize them when they're leaving, whether it be life change or, stuff to that there. What I had proposed was, we have helmet flashes that go on the front of the helmets. They just put them in a little shadow box. I got priced at roughly about $50. Well, we have four that have gone since COVID started. So this year it might be $200, but we might not ever do this again for 3, 4, 5 years before somebody leaves us. We've got a great crew over there, and I don't see anybody leaving in the near future. You never know. You know what I mean? Life changes, you get to a bad accident, you have a bad fire call, and I could be gone tomorrow, right? I could just say, this isn't worth my time now. I only have 3 years, 4 years, so I wouldn't qualify for that. You have to put a qualification on it, because somebody comes in for a year and they leave. It doesn't really. So that's all I was doing, was trying to give some recognition to people that are leaving the department, that have put in time. And I just used 5 years as an example. When I spoke to South Spanish River, Espinal and Baldwin and Sudbury for their volunteer part-time people, they use five years as a minimum. It's a lot of time to give too, when you think of every Tuesday, guys and girls are out there for 2.5 hours every Tuesday night. Now with the new mandates coming out, the training is very regimented, and you have to put the time in. We've got to put a lot of time in to get the hours, and we're still not going to qualify. It's a gray area, because if you got to get 200 hours, I think is the new norm they want. Just do the math in 52 weeks. How much time you got to put in? 2.5 hours doesn't cut it. But it's a lot of time and effort. So anyways, anybody that's doing it, I just thought it would be something. We've got a great crew over there. I know you volunteer, but it's not really. It was just an idea I had. I wanted to bring it forth to recognize those, right? We've got 4 that have gone through COVID, just after COVID, that we could start with. And, without naming names, we got one with, I think, 17 years, another one 16 years, one with 18 years, and then the other one's 6 or 7 years. It's a good, you say thanks to them for their time they put in. That's all I'm suggesting. Fire away.
I agree with you, but I disagree. Okay, I can't use names.
No, you can't.
We have a member of the service that transferred from another fire department. He might not have 5 years here, but he would have a total of 15 years service if he decided to.
Mhm.
And I think they should be included.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
And I didn't even think of that, but I don't care if you want to.
We had a person in the past that's deceased now. That
And we
they had
recognized
to
him.
do for him, and
Yeah,
he had a lot of years service elsewhere,
But he passed away while he was with us.
Yeah. but they had to do it because, well, I think when he was doing the line, they gave him the awards.
No,
Mhm.
we did that.
I thought they did.
I did those.
I thought they did something before he passed.
We had a little social.
yeah, we.
We had a little
here.
social, but we did the awards and everything. I did those. And we did that after he
I
passed.
think it's an excellent idea what you're doing.
I have.
Oh. Well, I think we like the idea. Do you,
Is there any other discussion? Anybody got it?
Okay.
Brain or?
I just got, like you said, I was a fireman, what really I touch with the taxpayer when they come and thank us after a fire or something, or somebody's help, as we go and help. Thank you, that just means so much to me, that they
Yes.
thank us and how good a job we're doing, and because when I first got on the fire department, well, he talked me into joining the fire department, he was fire chief. We were based with savers, and then after we got training and got a pretty good fire department going, the residents starting to thank us and appreciate our work, and that's what that's all that I need. When somebody come and thank you and for your service, and like you said, it's a firefighter, it don't matter at 2 o'clock in the morning, supper time or what, you're going.
So I'm
And the
confused.
hours,
Are you for it or are you against it?
I'm
I was confused. Okay, I was confused. I'm like. okay.
No, I'm not against it, I'm just wanting to tell you that that's all I needed.
Yeah, no, and that, you're right, but at the same time, for council and the CAO to acknowledge them for their years.
Yes.
Cause I think it'll mean a lot to them when they're leaving, or they've left, that's why I'm going back, and I'm not gonna go back to Councillor Austin's day, I'm just asking. We lost 4 people that had a lot of years seniority through COVID and to today. We go back to them, we bring them forward in for the Christmas party, we recognize them and we move forward. And we may not have another person for 5 years, we may have one next week, I don't know, you know what I mean? You don't know, but it's not gonna be a huge influx of budget money.
No, Councilor Deputy, do you have any?
Yeah.
I've got no problem with that. It's a very good idea.
Maybe they're with all they can get.
It's,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
My only comment is, do you think that we're rewarding current firefighters enough, like people that are, like, so it's one thing to, make a big deal when people retire. Do you think there's enough for people that are in it?
I don't
markers
believe,
that they do it 5 years, 10 years, 15, whatever it is.
No, I think if you I've only been on here 4 years, but I got 24 years in the fire service. And when you have the Christmas supper here and you see the crew get together, and you can kind of see they're a tight knit group, because if you put 5 tables out and your last year you were here and you see one table pretty well, or 2 tables end up with firefighters at it, you know what I mean? Like they congregate together, they stay together, you know what I mean? They're here for each other, they don't care about the 5-year, 10-year award. I think it's just nice to say, and that's why I put, for when they retire, right? Like I don't need a slap on the hand or a thank you while I'm doing it, but I want to recognize those that are leaving for whatever reason. We don't know what the reason is, to be honest with you, in today's world, what's going on in your head. So.
We're just waiting for the motion.
I agree 100% with what he's doing, but I remember in the past that we give out awards at the town dinner all the time for members with 5-year service, 10-year service, 15, 20. They got a plaque.
For all employees, and I don't, I mean.
So for the fire
Oh,
department,
yeah.
volunteer fire department service award. That used to be done, and then I know it wasn't done last year, I don't know previous years, so.
I think our fire chief did get up and speak last year. But there weren't awards.
No. I don't think we need it really. We're a pretty small crew and it all works pretty good, but. Anyways,
I think it's just a small thing, and it shows appreciation. Especially when you got somebody with 25-year service.
It's a lot of time.
Whatever you had written down there, now you're.
It was repetitive.
Oh,
If you're practicing.
Sorry.
before then.
Moved by Councillor McVeigh, second by Councillor Deputy, whereas council has reviewed the other business item shared by Councillor McVeigh. Be it resolved that council directs that each volunteer firefighter who leaves the service with 5 years or more plus will be given a recognition award. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. So next we have closed session. So just move into. So moved by Councillor Deputy, seconded by Councillor McVeigh. Be it resolved that council moved into closed session at 8:10 PM. For the purpose stated in section 239.2 of the Municipal Act, personal matters regarding an identifiable individual, including a municipal employee, an acquisition or disposition of land. All in favor? That's carried.